I'm Jimmy James. You're watching Catch It Live first. We have got the Catalunya GP, Moto GP sprint race kicking off at 2 o'clock. It is. So let's just quickly, I've only got the top 12. I missed qualifying. Too busy. So let's just have a quick run through it, mainly so I can catch up with what happened. In pole or on pole, Aleix, after he's announced his retirement at the end of the season, with a 138.19. We've got Pecco Bagnaia in second. Blimey. Raul Fernandez in third. Brad Binder in fourth. Pedro Acosta in fifth. Could go well, Acosta here. Digi's in sixth. Jorge Martin in seventh. Doesn't like it here, Martin, does he? Alex Rins in eighth. That's a good showing. Half a second off. Jack Miller in ninth, Frankie Morbidelli in 10th, Enea Bastianini in 11th, and Maverick Vinales in 12th. What happened to Vinales? I didn't see it, you see, so... Tell you what, though, the top seven, for the top seven, 0.21 of a second covered them. That's some going, that. I mean, Bagnaia missed out on pole by 31 thousandths, Fernandez by 71 thousandths, Maverick in 12th, 3/4 of a second off. It's not a lot, is it? But it just seems when everything's that tight, it just seems like you know where. I mean, you think you qualified 12th and you're 3/4 of a second off the pace. Brutal, but this is MotoGP. Every little tenth helps. Every little bit, every little edge you can get really does matter. And I know Keith Hewen always used to go on about we need the timing to 4 decimal points now, and it's getting closer and closer to the point where I think he's actually right. We've got 1 minute. The grid's being cleared now. If you haven't done so already, please hit the share button. I need to get more subscriptions up, and I think that's the way we're going to have to do it. If you haven't already subscribed, then please do. Click the like button and ping that notifications bell. After this, I can't fit the T20 cricket in, which I really wanted to do, and I wasn't going to cover the FA Cup final because Goldbridge will be doing it, and I wanted to watch him. But then I thought, well, if you're going to be covering the FA Cup, watching it, you may as well cover it and see what happens there. So they're just going off now on the warm-up lap. Quick shout out to our stream sponsor today, jalexpetproducts.co.uk. Link in the description. If you use the promo code Jimmy James, you'll get a 5% discount on all online orders. Spoke to Sean this morning. It's doing all right, actually, so thank you very much. I think there's some happy customers there. Hopefully there'll be plenty of repeat business for him. He's a good sponsor of this stream, so if you can help him out and us, that'd be fantastic. I hope you enjoyed the rugby league last night. St Helens and Leeds. Thought it was going to be a better showing from Leeds, and they kind of capitulated and shot themselves in the foot. But if you're a Leeds fan, a lot of positives to take from that, even though it was a 40-10 defeat. It was. It didn't tell the whole story. Put it that way. Thanks to Brad for joining me in the chat. It certainly helped it go along. I know you're working at the minute, mate, trying to get into the boozer for 3 o'clock so you can watch the FA Cup final. Well deserved. Say hello to the lads for me. Hopefully we're not going to get a good pasting from Manchester City, but it could be anything. When you think about it, if you're a City fan, it's a lose-lose, isn't it? Because if you win, you're expected to. And if you lose, that's going to sting, innit? So, yeah, bit of a lose-lose there. Guys are just coming up onto the grid now. I can't put any more details up of the race like I did last time because Dorna don't like it. So fair enough. We only put the live timings up, but not copyright strike and email from Dorna themselves. I can't remember the guy's name, saying, "We don't like you doing it." Good advertising for MotoGP, really, so I don't know why not. But rules is rules, and they didn't like it, so they'll have to crack on. Right, who's going to get the whole shot here from the start? The guys are ready to go. Here we go. The lights are on. Good start by Pecco there. Good start from Aleix. Jorge Martin got cut up a little bit there by Fabio. Coming into this turn one. Well, wow, what a fantastic start by Pedro Acosta up into second. Bagnaia leads into T1. Pedro Acosta's had an absolutely blistering start, right on the pipes of Pecco Bagnaia. Where did he start from? 5th. What a good start that was. One of the Ducatis is out wide there. Jorge Martin's currently in 6th with Enea Bastianini right behind him. And then I'm assuming that's Marc Marquez. I don't know. Where did Marc Marquez qualify in 14th? Again. Yeah, right, let's concentrate on the race anyway. 12 laps to go. Acosta was challenging Pecco then. Pecco was late on the brakes. Big twitch from the front. Really pushing that front end there was Pecco Bagnaia, under pressure from Pedro Acosta. Fernandez is in 3rd and looking strong, with Brad Binder in 4th. Then there's a little bit of a gap to Aleix Espargaro and Jorge Martin in 6th. Aleix didn't get a good start. He got off the line well initially, but then coming into T1 didn't go too well for him. Wow, Pedro Acosta's just done Bagnaia into turn 1 on the brakes. And Pecco's good on the brakes, but he had a little warning on that first lap, did Pecco Bagnaia, when he was under pressure from Acosta. So I'm not surprised that into turn 1 he was a little bit, not hesitant, but not on the ragged edge. No need, is there? It's only at the end of the first lap. 11 more to go. So Aleix is on the back of this front 4, so it's now a front 5, then a tiny gap to Jorge Martin. Let's do you a quick top 10 now things have settled down. So you've got in front, Pecco Bagnaia is back in front of Acosta. Raul Fernandez in 3rd, Brad Binder 4th, Aleix Espargaro in 5th, Jorge Martin in 6th, Enea Bastianini in 7th, Marc Marquez in 8th, Miguel Oliveira in 9th, and Jack Miller in 10th. Maverick's up to 11th, so he's made a spot. Digis in 12th. Very close at the front though. Nobody's getting away here. Nobody is getting away here. And I wonder what it is about this circuit that Jorge Martin doesn't like. He just doesn't go as well here as he does at the other circuits. Whether it's because it's low grip. It's low grip and a tyre wearer in it. So there could be tyre issues in this race. Pedro into T1, takes Bagnaia again, puts him right under pressure. He really can compete and beat. Fernandez has just come under Bagnaia into turn 3. Where's this performance come from then? From Raul Fernandez. And now Binder's just took over Bagnaia. He's getting beat up a little bit here, is Bagnaia, and Aleix is going to do him as well. Aleix is going to push him right out. How did they not hit each other? It's all bunching up at the front, and Fernandez is now in the lead from Brad Binder and Pedro Acosta in 3rd. What happened there? You've got a front group. This is like a Moto 3 race, not like a Moto GP race. And obviously, Marc Marquez is there. He's riding it now behind Aleix. These sprint races are good. So at the front, it's all changed. We have got Raul Fernandez from Brad Binder late on the brakes there, Binder fending off Pedro Acosta in third. Francesco Bagnaia in fourth. Jorge Martin in fifth now. He's done Alessio Spargaro, who's in sixth. Marc Marquez in seventh. Enea Bastianini in eighth. Oliveira ninth. Jack Miller, that's rounding out your top 10. What a race this is. And Fernandez, he's trying to make a break at the front. He's almost half a second in the lead. 9 laps to go. Acosta's just going to do Binder on the brakes into turn 1. Not many people outbrake Brad Binder. And Acosta's just done it with ease. I think he's going to get after Fernandez now, because he won't want him making a break at the front. But Fernandez is almost 0.6 of a second in the lead now. That last lap was fantastic. And this is the difference between MotoGP and F1. Stefan Bradl's at the back. I know he's been struggling, hasn't he, with illness, so fair play that he's even out there. Alex Marquez in 21st though. What's gone on there? Have I missed something? Where did Alex Marquez qualify? Oh, what happened there? I don't know what happened. Although I have just found something out that I can do that Dorna can't complain about. Right. Although it doesn't update very quickly, so yeah, we won't be doing that. Just talking to myself there. Apologies. Right. 8 laps to go. Raul Fernandez at the front of almost 0.9 of a second. We have got Pecco Bagnaia in fourth. I'm assuming it's a track limits warning there. Aleix in fifth again. Jorge Martin in sixth. So they're flip-flopping. Marc Marquez in seventh. Bastianini eighth. Oliveira ninth. Digi in 10th. Is Fernandez's tyre, I know it's a sprint race, is his tyre going to last this 8 laps that are coming? Because round Catalunya, you can burn your tyre out with ease. The grip's so low it will just spin up. So whether Acosta and Binder are playing it smart, whether Fernandez has got a little bit giddy, or whether he knows that his tyre will last at this pace. Well, he's gone. He's gone. I just saw him at... Yeah, Raul Fernandez has crashed out at the front. He lost the front there on turn 10. He's distraught in the kitty litter. What a good performance though. Yeah, he was heavy on the brakes there, and that went really early. Unlucky, but what a good performance. Proper performance that. You know, he got to the front and was pulling away on pure skill. It wasn't luck. Binder's just now taken 7 laps to go. Morbidelli's been given a long lap penalty. Not sure what that's for. Irresponsible riding. So I don't know what's happened there. We missed that. Binder did get Acosta into turn 1. Acosta didn't fight it, so whether he's just letting Binder have a turn at the front, we'll see. But at the front now, you've got Binder and Acosta with, I was going to say, a couple of bike lengths lead. Yeah, it is. Over Pecco Bagnaia in third, Aleix Espargaro in fourth, Jorge Martin in fifth, Marc Marquez in sixth, Bastianini seventh, Oliveira eighth, Digi in ninth, Jack Miller in 10th. Obviously everyone's moved up a spot. Now Raul Fernandez has crashed out at turn 10. 7 laps to go. Good crowd on a Saturday as well there in Barcelona. So we've now got, let's say, a front group of 6. Binder's out of shape there. Gets a late apex though, doesn't lose any ground. Acosta's now been taken by Pecco Bagnaia. With 6, I would say, which is Binder, Bagnaia, Acosta, Espargaro, Martin and Marc Marquez. Is Marc Marquez saving a bit of tyre? So Brad Binder's now got a lead of 0.4 of a second, 6 laps to go. Bagnaia in second, he's going to get done into T1 from Acosta. Yes, he does. Acosta takes his line as well. And Marc's just taken Jorge Martin. Aye. Acosta's just nearly lost the front on turn 3 and saved it. Didn't lose any time. Just kept it pinned. Wow. Wow. That was Marc Marquez at his peak. You know, when he tucks the front and rams his knee into the floor. Well, Acosta's just done that and lost. Oh, Brad Binder. Big crash there. He's okay, but turn 5, lost the front, the bike's barrel rolled, and yeah, that's going nowhere, mate. We're just trail braking in, really pushing it, and lost the front. Turn 5's lethal as it is. So now we have got a leader of Francesco Bagnaia, who's got a track limits warning. So he's going to have to be real careful now. He's got Pedro Acosta right on his tailpipe. Aleix Espargaro is in third, right there, with Marc Marquez in fourth, right there. And Jorge Martin in fifth, right there. So that front group now have pulled away from Bastianini a little bit. Yellow flags in sector 2 and 3. So we know what that's for. So we're just going to come across the line now. That'll give us 5 laps to go. Fantastic race. Absolutely fantastic. Aleix has just done Pedro Acosta on the straight there with ease. So whether Pedro's front tyres struggling a little bit now. Pecco Bagnaia at the front's got a lead of almost 0.4 of a second now. Aleix in second, Acosta in third, Marc Marquez in fourth, looking settled. Marc's just picking his way through. That's wide there, wide from Acosta. So Marc Marquez was looking to see if the door was open. He didn't panic though, which makes me think he's got plenty of tyre underneath him for this final 5 laps. So at the front we've got the two in the front 4. We've got 2 Ducatis and 2 KTMs. Jack Miller on the other factory KTM. He's in 9th. And that's an absolute load of tosh, because we've also got front 4, we've got Ducati, Aprilia, KTM, Ducati. Right, that's the easiest way to do it. Stop talking rubbish, Jimmy James. You're getting giddy. You've got to do better. I will, I promise. So let's call it top 5 now. That's where your winner's coming from. Bagnaia in P1. Track limits warning against his name. Aleix in P2, Pedro Acosta P3, Marc Marquez P4, Jorge Martin P5. 4 laps to go. Sector 4 has got a yellow flag. Why is there a yellow flag in sector 4? I can't see what's going on. Johan Zarco and Alex Marquez have come together there. Oh yeah, what it was. Zarco nearly lost the front, managed to stay on. Marc Marquez was right behind him and rode into the side of him, basically because Zarco changed line a little bit. He should have crashed, he didn't, saved it, but Alex Marquez had nowhere to go. Right, back to the front. So Pecco's now got a almost 0.5 of a second lead over Aleix Espargaro. Then there's almost the same gap. Marc Marquez has lost a wing there off the. From the start, he run into this to the back of, I think it was Brad Binder. So, I'll tell you, they're sliding around now. They're giving the tyres some grief. Pecco's now trying to put the hammer down at the front and build a gap with four laps to go. The only danger with that is everybody previous who's trying to break away has ended up in the kitty litter on the rear. Fernandez did it. Brad Binder's done it. So we've got Bagnaia in the lead by 0.7 of a second from Aleix Espargaro in second. He's then got a 0.7 gap to Pedro Acosta in third. And Marc Marquez is right behind Pedro. I bet he can hear the Jaws music because it's definitely playing. 3 laps to go. I'm just wondering if Pedro Acosta is going to be able to get a podium place here. I think he might have done his tyres a little bit. He did push hard early on, didn't he? Especially the front. We're currently watching an onboard with Marc Marquez behind Pedro Acosta. I think for the win, it's going to be between Bagnaia and Aleix. Currently 0.6 of a second between those two. Miguel Oliveira's just crashed out. Good performance though. And I'd love Mark if he could win this. I think he's just going to be too far behind though. I think he's just going to be too far behind. Especially he's just got a track limits warning now as Marc Marquez. So that's Bagnaia, Marquez, Nakagami, Alex Marquez and Joan Mir. They're all on track limits warnings. I think there's going to be 2 laps to go now. Bagnaia's got a 0.6 of a second lead still to Aleix Espargaro in second. Then from Aleix to Pedro Acosta, there's almost a second. But he's got Marc Marquez right behind him as Acosta. And I get the feeling Marc's going to do him. I wouldn't be surprised if any of these front 4 lose the front, maybe at turn 5, maybe turn 10, because they're all pushing. They are pushing like mad. And I get the feeling Jorge Martin knows this isn't his circuit, knows he hasn't got the pace. I think 5th, he's just going to have to suck it up and take them points, isn't he? Come the end of the season, they could be vital. Marc's 2 lengths behind Pedro Acosta, really piling the pressure on now. Bagnaia and Espargaro are in the distance, so it's definitely a third at the best for Marc Marquez or Pedro Acosta. Which one will it be? We'll find out in a lap and a half's time. He's going to have a chance here into turn 10. No, Pedro Acosta is too good on the brakes there, but he's run a little bit wide. Thing is, Marc's followed him wide. They were both on the limit again. Marc, I get a feeling he's going to try and do Acosta into turn 1. You can just tell he's lining him up, staying as close as he can, and outbrake him into T1. So this is the last lap now. We've got Francesco Bagnaia in the lead by 3/4 of a second from Aleix Espargaro in second. Then you've got a gap of 1.3 to Marc Marquez and Pedro Acosta. Make that Marc Marquez and Pedro Acosta. He's just done him into turn 1. So Marc's got a podium place now. Pedro is definitely going to have a go back at him. There's no way he's going to take it lying down, but I think Marc might just have a little bit too much tyre left. Just having a look in behind there, Martin could just come under a little bit of pressure from Enea Bastianini. I think he'll just have enough to hang on there, but he's definitely... Somebody's gone. Bagnaia's crashed out. And Nostradamus called me, turn 5. Told you he was pushing the front. Can't believe it. Neither can the Ducati team. So we've now got Aleix Espargaro in P1 from Marc Marquez P2, Pedro Acosta P3, Jorge Martin P4, Enea Bastianini in 5, Digi 6, Jack Miller 7th, Maverick in 8th, Bezzecchi 9th, Quartararo top 10. So Pedro Acosta has not given up yet on getting this second place back now from Marc Marquez. Bagnaia, what was he doing pushing like that? It was obvious he was pushing. He had a few warnings earlier on with his front tyre, but that turn 5 is lethal. So Elish is going to take a sprint race win unless he does anything stupid coming around the final bend. Just get over the line, mate. We like Elish, don't we? With his silver helmet on. There we go. Elish Espargaro wins the sprint race with Marc Marquez in second, Pedro Acosta third, Jorge Martin in fourth. He did hold off Enea Bastianini fifth. Di Gianantonio in sixth, Jack Miller seventh, Maverick Vinales eighth, Marco Bezzecchi ninth, Fabio Quartararo in 10th, Frankie Morbidelli in 11th, Rins in 12th, Nakagami 13th, Alex Marquez 14th, Joan Mir 15th, Luca Marini 16th, Augusto Fernandez 17th, bringing up the rear. Did well to get out on the bike though, didn't he, Stefan Bradl? No doubt there'll be tears from Elish. He's an emotional character at the best of times, isn't he? So that will have the waterworks going. You know, his last season racing, because him and Paul were only they were brought up, weren't they? Well, I think this circuit was in view of the home where they were when they were kids. We just seen a replay now of Pecco Bagnaia coming up to turn 5. I don't know what did he do. Oh, it went early. It's almost as soon as he hit the anchors, he was maybe 6 inches wide, but he wasn't under pressure, was he? So he'll be kicking himself with that because he had almost a second over Elish in second. If anyone was going to do that, I would have thought it would have been Pedro Acosta because he had Mark right on his tailpipe. Pedro Acosta and Elish just nearly belted into each other there, slowing down to congratulate each other. Pedro pulled to the left just as Elish was coming alongside him. That would have been a good way to finish the sprint race and celebrate. But nothing came of it. What a good race that was. If you get a chance to watch it, or if you get a chance to watch the highlights, watch it. Well worth it. 12 laps of adrenaline-filled racing with incident. And it bodes well for tomorrow's race because, let's be honest, the tyre wear, I got so giddy with that, I didn't even open my chat. So apologies for that. Man, you can't watch a 12-lap sprint race and keep an eye on chat, can you? That was fantastic. What's he going to do now? Is he going to do a big burnout in front of the crowd? They've got the shortcut back to the pit lane. He looks like he's emotional, does Elish, as you would be. What an absolute legend. He just brings something to the sport, doesn't he? He's not always right in what he does, but so what? None of us are. At least he's not held back by the corporate leash that all the F1 drivers are. The only one who never was Kimi Räikkönen, pretty much. But yeah, what a podium that's going to be. Elish Espargaro, Marc Marquez and Pedro Acosta. Pedro Acosta's just absolutely lit up in MotoGP Championship standings. Jorge Martin in first still with a 37-point lead. So on board with Pedro Acosta. He'll be going again tomorrow. The main race tomorrow is going to be fantastic because tyre wear will definitely be an issue. And you can see somebody riding off into the distance and then coming back in chunks because tyre drop off around Catalunya, even though it's been resurfaced in 2018, because there's such a lack of grip still, and especially if the track gets hot, you can burn a tyre out in 2 or 3 laps, and it's like 4 or 5 seconds a lap you can lose, which makes it interesting, to say the least. And it also means you get a lot more overtaking than you would normally anyway. So it's the way she's just gesticulating that he almost took the front, probably on several occasions. Absolutely fantastic racing. Takes his gum shield out. They've got a temporary podium set up for the sprint race, which works really, really well. He's got a grin from ear to ear. And he's got more teeth than a Ferrari gearbox, and we're having a good look at him now. He cannot stop smiling, and why would you? Great win for Aprilia there. Pecco's walking back to the garage. He looks distraught. I don't think Pecco will be too bothered about the points, if I'm honest. I think he'll be more worried about the crash and why it happened. And that's going to play on his mind all night now. And is that going to be something that tomorrow's race is always going to be there? And is that what loses you 1 or 2 tenths per second per lap? Because over a full race distance, that builds up. And that can be the difference between a win and, as we know, finishing in 5th or 6th. Maybe it's going to be a race tomorrow between Pecco Bagnaia and Jorge Martin for 4th, 5th and 6th or something. Because at the front, you can see the way Fernandez went off at the start, he could be well in it tomorrow again if he can look after his tyre, maybe don't push the front. He knows where the limit is. Maybe he can just dial it back just a touch. But Marc Marquez looked really good. It's just a pity again he qualified so poorly. But then Brad Binder looked good, and everybody in this race, once they got to the front and tried building a lead, ended up in the kitty litter rolling. It started with Fernandez at first, then Brad Binder tried to make a break from P1, ended up on his ear. So, learn from today and what tomorrow's race is going to bring. Who knows? It's going to be a corker, that's for sure. Tune in here, catch it live first, because it's going to be epic. I can just tell it's going to be a fantastic race. And if I'm going to put my money on anyone, it's going to be potentially an Enea Bastianini, believe it or not, because I think he'll look after his tyre. Marc Marquez. I think Pedro Acosta can ride around tyre issues. Aleix, I wouldn't be surprised if he bins it, because he's going to want to win that race at all costs. Win it or bin it in it for him. So it's going to be fantastic. I'm going to go now because I've got to get ready for the FA Cup stream. So please, if you haven't done so already, hit the subscribe button and the thumbs up. I need to get more subscribers. And click the notifications bell. Keep up to date with what we've got coming. We've got loads of sport coming your way. A quick shout out for today's stream sponsor, jalexpetproducts.co.uk. Use promo code Jimmy James and get a 5% discount off all online orders. Sean will sort you out. I'm going to go now, and we'll be back in 20 minutes for the FA Cup final between Manchester City and Manchester United. I'm just praying. That's all I've got. That's all I've got for a Manchester United win. I'm out of here. I'll be back shortly. Take care. Go and top yourself up with a beer. It's Saturday.